sample preview. Hi guys, I am here with your Jeremiah reading for today. I just got yesterday's done. Yesterday's Jeremiah reading and Bible reading. So now I'm starting on today's for you guys. So we're going to take up from where we left off in Jeremiah here a few minutes ago with Jeremiah chapter 19 through chapter 21. Broken beyond repair. The Lord proclaims, "Go buy a clay jar from a potter in the presence of the elders of the people and the priests. Then go out to Ben Hinnom Valley at the entrance of the gate called Broken Pots, and proclaim there the words I will tell you. Listen to the Lord's word, you kings of Judah, and those of you living in Jerusalem. This is what the Lord of heavenly forces, the God of Israel, says. I'm going to bring such disaster upon this place that it will shock all who hear of it. They will have deserted me and degraded this place into a shrine for other gods, which neither they nor their ancestors nor Judah's kings have ever known. And they have filled this place with the blood of the innocent. Yes, they have built shrines to Baal, to burn their sons and daughters in the fire, although I never commanded or ordered such a thing, nor did it ever cross my mind. So now the time is coming, declares the Lord, when people will no longer call this place Topheth or Ben Hinnom Valley, but Carnage Valley. I will foil the plans of Judah and Jerusalem in this place, and will have them fall in battle before their enemies, before those who seek their lives. I will give their corpses as food to the birds and the wild animals. I will make this city something that sounds horrible. All who pass by it will be shocked as its pain. And when their enemies lay siege to the city, seeking their lives, they will resort in desperation to eating the flesh of their sons and daughters, and to devouring the flesh of their neighbors. Then you should shatter the clay jar in the sight of the people who are with you, and you should say to them, this is what the Lord of heavenly forces says. Just as one smashes the potter's piece beyond repair, so I will smash this people and this city, and they will bury the dead in Topheth until there's no room left. That is what I will do to this place and its residents, declares the Lord. I will make this city like Topheth. The houses of Jerusalem and those of Judah's kings will be as foul as Topheth. All the houses of those roofs they made offerings to, the heavenly force, and poured out drink offerings to other gods. When Jeremiah returned from Topheth, where the Lord had sent him to prophesy, he stood in the court of the Lord's temple and said to all the people, the Lord of heavenly forces, the God of Israel, proclaims, I am about to bring upon this city and its surrounding towns every disaster that I have pronounced against them, because they have been stubborn and wouldn't obey my words. When the priest Pashur, Immer's son, the officer in charge of the Lord's temple, heard Jeremiah prophesying these words, he beat the prophet and detained him in confinement at the upper Benjamin gate in the Lord's temple. The next day, when Pashur learned Jeremiah from confinement released him, Jeremiah said to him, the Lord has changed your name from Pashur to Panic Lurks Everywhere. The Lord proclaims, I'm going to strike panic into your heart and into the hearts of your friends. You will watch as they fall in battle to their enemies. I will hand over all Judah to the king of Babylon, who will exile some to Babylon and slaughter others. I will hand over all the wealth of this city, all its goods and valuables, including the treasures of the kings of Judah, to their enemies who will ransack and pillage and carry it off to Babylon. And you, Pashur, and all those in your household will go into captivity. You will be deported to Babylon, where you will die. There you will be buried with all your friends to whom you prophesied falsely. Lord, you enticed me, and I was taken in. You were too strong for me, and you prevailed. Now I'm laughed at all the time. Everyone mocks me. Every time I open my mouth, I cry out and say violence and destruction. The Lord's word has brought me nothing but insult and injury constantly. I thought, I'll forget him. I'll no longer speak in his name. But there's an intense fire in my heart, trapped in my bones. I'm drained, trying to contain it. I'm unable to do it. I hear many whispering. Panic lurks everywhere. Proclaim, yes, let's proclaim it to ourselves. All my friends are waiting for me to stumble. Perhaps he can be enticed. Then we'll prevail against him and get our revenge on him. But the Lord is with me like a strong defender. Therefore my oppressors will stumble and not prevail. They will be disgraced by their own failures. Their dishonor will never be forgotten. The Lord of heavenly forces tests the righteous and discerns the hearts and the minds. Let me see your retribution upon them, for I have committed my case to you. Sing to the Lord, praise to the Lord, for he has rescued the needy from the clutches of the evildoers. Cursed be the day that I was born. May the day my mother gave birth to me not be blessed. Cursed be the one who delivered the news to my father, you have a son, filling him with joy. May the bearer of that news be like the cities that the Lord destroyed without mercy. May he hear screams in the morning and the battle cries at noon, because he didn't kill me in the womb and let my mother become my grave, her womb pregnant forever. Why was I even born, when all I see is suffering and misery, and my days are filled with shame? Jeremiah received the Lord's word when King Zedekiah sent Passer, Malchus' son, and the priest Zephaniah, Manasseh's son, to him with an appeal. Speak to the Lord on our behalf, because Babylon's king Nebuchadnezzar is attacking us. Perhaps the Lord will perform one of his mighty deeds and force him to withdraw from us. Jeremiah answered them, This is what you should tell Zedekiah. The Lord, the God of Israel, says, I'm going to turn your own weapons against you. Yes, the weapons you are using to fight the king of Babylon and the Babylonians who have surrounded you. I will round them up in the center of the city. Then myself will fight against you with an outstretched hand and strong arm in the fierce anger and rage. I will strike down this city, both people and animals, and they will die of a terrible plague. Afterward, declares the Lord, I will deliver Judah's king Zedekiah, his servants, and those in this city who have survived plague, war, and famine, to Babylon's king Nebuchadnezzar, and to their enemies who seek to do them harm. He will put them to the sword without pity, mercy, or compassion. This is what you should tell this people. The Lord says, I'm setting before you the way of life and the way of death. Whoever stays in the city will die by the sword, famine, and disease. But whoever leaves the city and surrenders to the Babylonians will live. Yes, their lives will be spared. I have set my face against this city for harm and not for good, declares the Lord. It will be delivered to the king of Babylon, who will set it on fire. House of Judah, this is what the Lord says. House of David, the Lord proclaims, begin each morning by administering justice. Rescue from their oppressor. those who have been robbed, or else my anger will spread like a wildfire, with no one to put it out, because of their evil deeds. I am against you, you who live in the valley, like a rock on the plain, declares the Lord, and who say, who will come down to attack us? Who will breach our fortresses? I will punish you based on what you have done, declares the Lord. I will set your forests on fire. The flames will engulf everything around you. And that was today's Jeremiah reading. Jeremiah chapter 19 through chapter 21. So I hope you guys are enjoying the Old Testament readings of Jeremiah. And I am going to go over and do your guys' Bible reading for today in the New Testament. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. God bless.